Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this lovely evening where we will have our webinar. So welcome to the PMI UAE chapter, and let's proceed with our evening tonight. I hope everyone is comfortable. We have quite a very nice session ahead, and let's start with our introduction. Of course, at PMI UAE, we are very proud that we are one of the top 5% of the chapters globally because of all the engagement and all the volunteering work and all the webinars that we are having. But above all, your participation makes all this happen. In PMI UAE, we have a lot of benefits coming in 2020, and we are growing every day. We just had a very successful and a fruitful event today for all volunteers where we discussed the strategy for the future, and believe me, it is a good one. So you can share the networking, you can share the knowledge, and you can share the career growth and all these wonderful events that we are sharing. Our sponsors are the National Archives, the Ministry of Presidential Affairs, DHA, and our partner, of course, is the International Institute of Learning. If you need any more information, you can log into our website, pmiuae.org, and of course, you can find us in all the different social media. Tonight, we are going to have PDUs, 2 PDUs, one technical and one strategic, and this will be automatically added to you within 10 to 15 days, but you can go ahead and claim your PDUs as well. So our session tonight is about women in project management. It's an interesting subject, and believe me, I'm very keen to understand more about what is going on, especially when we have our presenter, Dr. Liudmila Prozorova, and she has all the knowledge that she needs for this one. She already is a project management and supply chain professional with 14 years of experience in the oil and gas and the energy sector. She helped different organizations to reach their maturity and how to work in an efficient manner and how to increase the profitability, how to reduce the risk, and how to build different teams and different process in different areas. Also, Dr. Liudmila is an award-winning speaker, and she's Iconic Women Award and Student Mentor at New York University in Abu Dhabi. She was graduated from Leipzig State Technical University in Moscow, and she obtained her PhD from Volgograd State Civil Architecture University. And I hope that she will forgive me if I'm pronouncing this in the wrong way. And she had also her MBA from Aberdeen, and she is a PMP certified. Welcome, Dr. Liudmila, and the floor is yours. Please take us into this journey. I cannot wait to listen to you. Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and thank you very much, Ahmed, for the introduction. So I'm pleased to share with you today my experience of being a woman in project management and working in oil and gas industry. I hope you find it interesting, useful for yourself for the future, and you will know better how to work in a diverse team. So, before I start, I would like to say that there is no proof to suggest that either gender makes better project managers. Having the full range of skills and abilities needed to be a project manager, regardless of the gender, leads to more successful projects and a greater balance between men and women. Probably the way to increase the number of women in project management going forward is to start at school level. Teachers, career advisors need to raise the awareness and potential of their female students pursuing and excelling in subjects such as mathematics and science. This in turn should lead to more women going into industries which have previously been male-dominated, and thereafter progressing into project management roles within these industries. So let's find out who is in the audience today. Are you a female professional, male manager who has female team members, male professional working in diverse team, or professional who wants to know more about diversity? So we'll have about like 3 minutes to give an answer. Please share who you are. I would like to know who is present in the audience. Great. So we have actually majority ladies participating. Great to see that. We also have 16% of male managers. Wow, that's awesome. Who has diverse team managing. That's amazing. And also we have 16, exactly the same number of male professionals working in diverse team. Great. So let's continue. Thank you very much, everybody, for participating. Great to know their feedback and who is in the audience. So let's find out. Okay, something. So let's find out why you're here today. So maybe you're a female professional who would like to make a step up into project management role in your career. And every time you see the job posting, you feel uncertain whether you have enough knowledge and experience to fulfill this role, whether you're the right person. And it leaves you full of self-doubts and you decide to get more experience or maybe study more to take a step up in your career. Or perhaps you're a male manager who has women in your team and you would like to encourage more women in your team to be more creative, to share their ideas freely, to take more responsibility and use their full potential. Of course, there are very ambitious women as well, but some of them feel shy and afraid to go out of their comfort zone. Trying to be creative and engaging to increase their involvement and willingness to take more responsibility. Or possibly you're a professional working in a team and would like to have more diversity in your team, or just to know more about diverse team and why it's beneficial for the organizations. So if you're one of the above mentioned, you are definitely in the right place. Because what I'm going to talk to you about today is how to encourage the diversity and inclusion in your team. But let me share some statistics with you. Even in these days and the age of equality, there are still significantly fewer women than men in managerial positions, particularly in the area of project management. Several reasons have been suggested for this. One is that project managers are mainly found in the construction and engineering industry, which have been historically male-dominated areas. In addition, managerial careers in the past have traditionally been male-oriented. Over the past 5 years, there are signs of progress in representation of women in corporate. Since 2015, the number of women in senior leadership has grown. This is particularly true in the C-suite, where the representation of women has increased from 17 to 21%. Although representation of women in senior leadership has increased, women continue to be underrepresented at entry level. I have issue with, okay. In the last 5 years, McKinsey is providing the report for women in workplace, and it is noticeable that more women rise to the top level of companies. An increasing number of companies are seeing the value of having more women in leadership, and they are proving that they can make progress on gender diversity. This is an important step in the right direction. Today, 44% of companies have 3 or more women in their C-suite, up to 29% of companies in 2015. Adding even one woman can make a material difference, given the critical role top executives play in shaping the business and culture of their company. Still, the overall representation of women in the C-suite is far from the parity. More women are becoming senior leaders, but progress at the top is constrained by a broken rank. The biggest obstacle women face on the path to senior leadership is the first step up to the manager. This is basically called the broken rank. For every 100 men promoted and hired to manager, only 70 women are promoted and hired. The broken rank results in more women getting stuck on the entry level and fewer women becoming managers. Not surprisingly, men end up holding 62% of manager level positions, while women hold just 38%. This number of women decreases at every subsequent level. Still, women continue to be underrepresented at every level. To change the numbers, companies need to focus where the real problem is. We often talk about the glass ceiling that prevents women from reaching senior leadership positions. In reality, the biggest obstacle that women face is much earlier in the pipeline, at the first step up to the manager. Fixing this broken rank is the key to achieving parity. So, but why we actually have these statistics? It's because of some challenges women face in management. As I mentioned before, the first one is broken rank. People don't realize that step up to manager, the broken rank, is the biggest challenge to getting equal numbers of women and men into management. Despite the profound impact of the broken rank on the trajectory of women, both HR leaders and employees underestimate the scope of the problem and its effect on the representation of women at senior levels in their organizations. When asked what is the biggest challenge, where to get into equal numbers of women and men in leadership, awareness of the promotion gap at the first step up to the manager is actually low. HR leaders more often point to less access to the sponsorship or a lack of qualified women in the pipeline. On the bright side, almost everyone says that women are doing their part. Very few HR leaders and employees think women are less willing to do what it takes or are less likely to aspire positions in management. So the second challenge is imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome can act as a major obstacle to career progression, especially for women, not to mention the negative effects on the economy as a whole. You don't know what you are doing. Any moment, someone will catch you out. What made you think you could even attempt this? You're a failure. You're a total shameful failure. These cruel doubts manifest in the minds of those suffering a painful and debilitating phenomenon called imposter syndrome, a mixture of anxiety and a persistent inability to recognize your own success. This syndrome can be crippling, destroying the careers and life of the most chronic sufferers. According to Claire Josa, author of Ditching Imposter Syndrome and a leadership consultant, men actually are more likely to push through the syndrome, while women tend to give into their self-doubt. The recent research also showed that 28% of working women feel like imposter syndrome has stopped them speaking in a meeting. It also found 21% have been prevented from suggesting a new or alternative idea at work. And 26% have failed to change career or role. For me personally, I have no idea how many times I had these thoughts during my career. And of course, I still have them. To fight the imposter syndrome, I'm personally trying to get conscious, continuous educations, trying to get out of the comfort zone, and actually trying to feel comfortable to be out there. It's very personal. With some women here and men actually could understand how we actually feel. Oh. Have you ever been in a situation when you have something to say, but actually hold yourself back? Come with me back to July 2017. You will find me working in the office of European oil and gas company in Abu Dhabi. I'm sharing the room with another 3 male colleagues of mine. My desk is located beside an incredible window. And every time the sun is shining, it's reflected in the water. I'm overlooking marina. It's an amazing view. And every time I have a problem, I look in this window and solution comes. And this moment, my boss Brian appears in the room. Let me tell you a little bit about Brian. He is 60 years old, Canadian man, a bit shorter than me because I'm quite tall. He's a bit more round, And he always takes a chili chicken for lunch. And he's always smiling and very positive. When you see him, you always want to hug him. He likes a teddy bear. Very positive person. Hello folks, I have a great news for you. We are starting our collaboration with ADNOC. And tomorrow, Liudmila and I are going to the first meeting to figure out our collaboration, our partnership. ADNOC means Abu Dhabi National Oil Company, means full of Emirati. It's been interesting. 3 years already working in Abu Dhabi. I've never actually dealt with locals. And I've heard, somebody told me, they're not very friendly to women. Somebody even told me that one woman was trying to deliver the point to one man in the workshop, and he was looking through her to another, like she doesn't exist. What if it happened to me? What would I do? What would you do in this case? The day has come. We arrived to ADNOC headquarters. Wow, this building is amazing. Brand new, all the shining glass around. You can see the drill bits in one corner, the models on the offshore platforms in another corner. Sheikh Zayed pictures everywhere from the 60s when they have just discovered the oil. Full of people, all in black and white. The sophisticated elevator brought us on the 43rd floor. Oh my God, the view is amazing. All Abu Dhabi like on the palm of your hand. Meeting room number 3, 1 p.m. The meeting room started filling up with the people. 20, 30, all in white, means all Emirati men. There are only 2 Westerners in the room, me and my boss Brian, and only 1 woman, me. Fantastic. And now Big Boss appeared in the room. How do I know that he's Big Boss? Because trust me, they all look the same, at least for me. Big Boss comes in the room last, sits in the head of the table, and when he speaks, everybody holds his breath. Salam alaikum. Now I would like to explain the collaboration strategy between our companies. We are going to work together in a big strategic project. The concept stage for this project has not been completed yet, but in order to shorten the schedule, we should start tendering the engineering activities now. No. Don't think this is a good idea. But should I say something? Or maybe not? What if I be that woman? Win or lose. Excuse me, I have different opinion. In one of my previous projects, we adopted the strategy. We have experienced significant delays in the project. We should wait until we finish the concept stage, and only after that start tendering the engineering stage. Otherwise, we can significantly jeopardize the whole schedule. What is done is done. That moment, that time has stopped. The air was hanging. Everybody who was sitting in the room was staring at me. My boss, who has more experience working with the locals, just covered his face. Have you ever been in a situation when you want to sound through the floor? That's actually exactly how I felt. I wanted to disappear. I wanted to vanish in my chair. And that moment, the big boss stood up and pointed out at me. Yes, right, she has a point. And I do agree with her. Ooh, relief. So, luckily, I'm not going to be that woman from the story. And what's interesting, later, ADNOC has requested me to join their project management team and work in one team together with them. After we finished the project, my company received great feedback, and I received a great appreciation from them. What's more, they were most polite people I actually ever worked with. So it was my greatest pleasure working with them. And what this story has taught me is to don't be afraid to speak up. If you don't speak up, how the world supposed to know that you exist? This is my personal example, how I was trying to fight the imposter syndrome. I hope you find a lot of common thoughts with me as well. So another challenge that women face in management is actually stereotypes. A common misperception is that while women are skilled in role-specific tasks, they are not fit to manage people, lead or collaborate. At the same time, male in qualification experience will be assumed to be able to lead well, delegate responsibility, and effectively communicate with peers. This idea, which leads to a representation of women and leadership role, is challenging actually for a number of reasons. Recent research by Confer International, one of the largest international consultancy group organization behavior, suggests that women are better at using soft skills, such as demonstrating empathy, adapting to changing work environment, part of the team, and managing conflict. Thus, while these stereotypes lead to the perception that women are ill-fit for leadership in the workplace, in fact, female leaders are badly needed. In my practice, my personal practice, I've been judged by stereotypes a lot, working in different countries and cultures. I was thought as a secretary and asked actually to bring me coffee in a couple of meetings when I was working in Malaysia. At the time I was 27 and I was head of civil. One of who didn't know me before, to be taught a lot. But now we have actually very close relationship. But this button still is, but you need to be aware of it. And it is absolutely nothing to do with your achievements. You just need to learn how to deal with it, and you will stop paying attention to it later on. Now, I'm actually joking a lot with people who make stereotypical mistakes, and it's fun. So the next challenge actually is to be only one woman in the room. It's quite challenging and puts a lot of pressure, I must say. Given that women are underrepresented across the corporate pipeline, many end up being the only or one of the only women at work. About 1 in 5 women says that they're often and only, and this is twice as likely for senior level women and women in technical roles. By comparison, only 5% of men are often the only or one of the only men in the room. And regardless of their race, ethnicity, they face less scrutiny than women onlys. Women onlys are having a notably difficult experience at work. They are more than twice likely to be asked to prove competence, over 3 times more likely to be mistaken for someone more junior, and about twice as likely to be subject to mean or disrespectful remarks. That's why I was mistakenly thought as a secretary in Malaysia. Similar feelings I've got during this meeting in Nadno, which I have described earlier. But the more you do, the more you learn how to deal with it. And now it is absolutely normal practice for me, being only one woman in the room. And I must say, I actually enjoy a lot more. So now let's do some poll and see from your point of view, which challenges actually issue for gender equality at the workplace. And actually maybe you can share also your personal experience, which of their changes you have faced. And or maybe you have any other challenges which I'm not listed here. Please feel free to share the challenges which you are facing at work for gender equality, and we're looking forward to see your suggestions. Wow, that's amazing. So, majority actually face the stereotypical judgment. Wow, that's interesting. The second biggest is yes, that's absolutely right. And broken round face actually the least. Wow, that's interesting. Anyway, I will share later on with solutions actually how we can deal with these challenges. So let's move forward. Now let's look at the historical women leaders. I can move the slides. Okay, let's look at historical women leaders. Margaret Thatcher, Europe's first woman prime minister, the only British prime minister to win 3 consecutive terms. Thatcher formed an early desire to be politician. Her intellectual ability led her to the University of Oxford, when she studied chemistry and was immediately active in politics, becoming one of the first women presidents of the Oxford University Conservative Association. After graduating, she worked for 4 years as a research chemist, reading for the bar in her spare time. Thatcher's first run for parliament was unsuccessful. After 9 years, entering the House of Commons, winning the safe Conservative seat of Finchley in northern London. She rose steadily since then, until reaching the Prime Minister position. Christine Lagarde, a French politician and a lawyer, serving as the President of the European Central Bank since November 2019. Lagarde was born in Paris in the family of teachers. She graduated from Paris West University when she obtained master's degree in English, labor law, and social law. Lagarde joined Baker and McKinsey in 1981. In 2011, Lagarde announced her candidacy to be head of the International Monetary Fund and received the support of the British, Indian, US, Brazilian, Russian, Chinese, and German governments. Indira Gandhi. She was the first and today only female minister in India. She had to make repeated trips to Switzerland to recover, disrupting her studies. She went to study at Visva Bharati University. A year later, however, she had to leave university to attend to her ailing mother in Europe. There it was decided that Indira would continue her education at the University of Oxford. Indira had to take the entrance examination twice, having failed at her first attempt. Nowadays, there are also women presidents in 22 countries in the world. There are also women CEO of big corporations. Mary Barra, General Ginny Rometty, IBM, Safra Katz, Oracle Corporation, Vicky Hollow, Occidental Petroleum. There are different paths, all to their learn how to step out of their comfort zone and actually to be comfortable doing it over and over again. Let's look now at some female. Let's look at female leaders in the Middle East. Taiba Al-Hashemi, Chief Executive at the subsidiary at Al Assad Petroleum. She was drawn to the energy sector despite a passion for history. We were the third batch, with only 6 girls in chemical engineering, she says, of her time in UAE University. She was 8 months pregnant when she first joined ADNOC Consor in 2002. I worked for 30 days and delivered the baby and came back, she says. They calling her 45 days on maternity leave. It then became 45 days plus 15, and now it's 3 months, she observes. While progress has been made to support the work-life balance of women in the sector, there is still more to be done. We have a long way to go if we look at the world, the Middle East and Far East. So there is a lot to do, not only at the working level, but maybe from the school itself, to encourage women to pursue STEM subjects such as science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Fatima Al-Noyami. When Fatima graduated with a degree in chemical engineering and joined ADNOC, she thought she was set for career in marketing. They sold me an idea that being in marketing is a good idea, says Fatima, who is the first female chief executive at ADNOC LNG. It was 1999, and Fatima, who was among the second batch of female chemical engineers, graduated from the UAE University, previously known as Al Ain University, was keen to prove herself. To secure her role, She spent a month dropping off her resume to 14 unknown subsidiaries along the Abu Dhabi Corniche. And some hiring managers even asked her why anyone would recruit a woman. I heard it from one guy, and I'm still for him today, loves Fatima now. At the request of her line manager then, she later moved from the marketing department to engineering. At a time when women were spending time on the site and there were no protective overalls for them to wear. She recalls the custom-made overalls that were eventually introduced for female engineers. A jacket reaching the knee with a headscarf and a helmet. To get accepted within the community, they had an Islamic sheikh in the court to approve it as an Islamic outfit. Fatima, who now oversees the operations of ADNOC LNG facilities plant in Das Island, is one of the 2 female chief executives ADNOC appointed in 2018. She says it is very important that women are presented to the community as role models. So, how we actually can overcome the challenges women face in project management and management as well. So the first one, as I said, broken rank. The good news is at the same rates, and if we do, we can next. While action should be on operations to fix the broken rank. The second one is make a business case for promotion. When asking for promotion, put together a business case for it. Quantify what you've done and the impact you've had. When you help others, we all shine. This is one of that I think a lot of people forget. The best managers are those who inspire others, whether you have the title or not. Instead of competition, embrace collaboration. Take pride on your own work, but also in the work of your boss, your colleagues, and your company. This establishes you as a team player and someone who activates change. Never forget, there is no I in a team. Don't wait until the title to take on the responsibilities. Consider it as a self-fulfilling prophecy. You have to act like a leader. Then you will become one. Think about ways to add value. Bring new ideas to meetings. Roll up your sleeves and help, big or small, even if they're outside your job description. Your talents and actions will be recognized as leadership potential. The best leaders today are those that inspire, and we all have the power to inspire. Believe in yourself. Know that if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. Show your value and find a way. But of course, at the end of the day, if it's not the right fit, don't be afraid to walk away and move towards another opportunity. Sometimes there is a reality to what you can and can't do with the company. There is no shame of leaving if you have to. See this as a positive. After all, the only way you can find what you do want is by trying new things and figuring out what you don't want. In the current situation, women cannot catch up and gender parity will persist. If companies can fix their however, they will set off for a powerful chain reaction that carries through the greater female representation in senior leadership. The report by McKinsey and Lean-In suggests 5 key ways of doing this. Set goal for getting more women into first-level management. Require diverse slates for hiring and promotion. Put evaluators through unconscious bias training. Establish clear evaluation criteria. Put more women into managers. By following these steps, individual firms will begin to glue together their broken ranks, and the impact of doing it cannot be underestimated. If women are promoted and hired for a first-level manager at the same rates as men, we will add 1 million more women to management over the next 5 years, the report says. Organizations and workplace culture have a lot to answer for when it comes to the broken rank. However, when you know your worth, found your voice, and start in your power, you set your parameters for success. So what? The only way to stop feeling like an imposter is to stop thinking like an imposter. Valerie Young is an internationally recognized expert for imposter syndrome, suggests the following steps to overcome the imposter syndrome. Break the silence. Shame keeps lots of people from facing up about their frozen feelings. Knowing there is a name for these feelings and that you are not alone can be tremendously thrilling. Separate feeling from fact. There are times you will feel stupid. It happens to everyone from time to time. Of course, to each other, but anyways, we're keeping it for ourselves, but it happens. Realize that just because you may feel stupid doesn't mean you are. Recognize when you should feel fraudulent. If you're one of the first or the few women or in your field or workplace, it's only natural you'd sometimes feel like you don't totally fit in. Instead of taking your self-doubt as a sign of your intimateness, recognize that, and it might be a normal response to being an outsider. Accentuate the positive. Perfectionism can indicate a healthy drive to excel. The trick is not to obsess over everything being just so. Do a great job when it matters most, without preserving over routine tasks. Forgive yourself when an inevitable mistake happens. Develop new response to failure and mistake making. Henry Ford once said, failure is only the opportunity to begin again more intelligently. Instead of beating yourself up for being human and blowing the big project, do what athletes do and glean the learning value from a mistake and move on. They also say, fail fast, learn fast. Develop a new script. Your script is that automatic mental tapes that starts playing in situations that trigger your imposter feelings. When you start a new job or project, instead of thinking, for example, wait till they find out, I have no idea what I'm doing. Try thinking, everyone who starts something new feels off base in the beginning. I may not know all the answers, but I'm smart enough to find them. Visualize the success. Do what professional athletes do. Spend time beforehand picturing yourself, making a successful presentation, or calmly posing your question in class. It should be picturing a pending disaster and will help with performance relative to stress. It's very important to reward yourself. Break the cycle of continually seeking and then dismissing validation outside of yourself by learning to pat yourself on the back. And fake it till you make it. Now and then, we all have to fly by the seat of our pants. Considering winging it as proof of your intuitiveness, learn to do what many high achievers do and view it as a skill. The point of the worn-out phrase, fake it till you make it, still stands. Don't wait until you risk. Change your behavior first and to build. And stereotypes. In stereotypes and biases have not gone away. That women consciously have to prove their credentials. And when they make proposals and recommendations, they have to justify them more than male colleagues would actually. Institutional mindsets are the most significant barrier and are a major reason that we don't see more women at the top level of leadership. People make assumptions about women at work and as leaders based on their stereotypical roles in society. Often, women are limited in their advancement or worse, never even given an opportunity because of bias.
Even more worrisome, much of the bias that people have toward women is unconscious. Research has found that it is not the conscious or explicit bias that primarily causes barriers and misunderstanding and limit potential. Rather, it's unconscious or hidden biases that are really problematic. These hidden reflective preferences shape our worldviews and can profoundly affect how welcoming and open a workplace is to different people and ideas. One of the solutions is for women to proactively and consistently communicate their desires to advance, travel, or take new assignments. This type of communication will help put to rest any assumptions made about them. But what actually can learning and development do? It is essential for both men and women to be aware of these barriers at work, together to minimize them. There are underlying causes of the leadership gender gap that significantly impacts corporation diversity and inclusion. Leaders, human resources department, and trainers play a big role because all employees are affected by leadership development practices. These practices include women we are developing, how we are developing them, when we are developing them, and what issues they are being trained and how leadership styles we applied. As a learning and development professional, they can influence leadership development in the organizations. For example, they can collaborate with human resources to create training programs that develop leadership talent, develop application-based workshop and assessment, develop training reinforcement and metrics, and educate employees about the potential barriers. Only after these barriers are removed will women advance in large number of senior leadership positions. It's the only way to achieve more diverse, inclusive and balanced leadership across global organizations. And the only one woman in the room actually can be tackled only by increasing the diversity. So, why actually gender equality is good for employers? It might feel as a woman presence at workplace is a given. But globally, despite making up to 50% of the population, women now generate only 37% of the GDP. So why is diversity important in the workplace? And how actually organizations are missing out if they don't get the gender balance right? Here are just a few reasons why gender diversity is good for business. First of all is the wide talent pool. Companies that don't encourage women to join their team are missing out on the talents and abilities of the half of the population. Tapping into this can make a huge difference to your productivity and the bottom line. Different perspective. Having both women and men in your teams means you benefit from the different points of view and approaches that come from different life experiences. A multiplicity of perspective can speak creativity and innovation and help organizations spot and seize new opportunities. It can also encourage organizations to challenge gender stereotypes. Enhance collaboration. Having women on a team can help improve team processes and boost group collaboration. Researchers have observed that women have stronger skills reading nonverbal cues. They also conclude that the group with more women were better at taking turns in conversations, which help them make the most of the group combined knowledge and skills. This will benefit groups when they're collaborating on projects face to face, and it will also help when employees use modern communication and collaboration tools. Improved staff retention. Having an inclusive culture in your workplace boosts morale and opportunity. Inclusive workplaces tend to have lower employee churn rates, which represents big saving in terms of time and money spent on recruitment. A better reflection on your customers. Customers come from all walks of life. The more the makeup of your organizations reflect your customers, the more likely you'll communicate effectively with them. That means making sure your teams have a diversity of genders, as well as backgrounds and ethnicities. Women are hugely influential when it comes to making a purchasing decision. Actually, in 2018, women globally spent about 40 trillion US dollars. That's a lot of buying power to connect with. Empowered recruitment and reputation. Having an inclusive workplace is a powerful recruitment tool. Female millennials actually look for employees with a strong report on diversity. According to research by PricewaterhouseCoopers, with 85% saying it's important to them. A reputation as an inclusive employer will also demonstrate you positive company values, and that will enhance your reputation in the recruitment marketplace. And greater profitability. Evidence support the theory that gender diversity has a positive impact on the bottom line. Actually, according to the McKinsey, the most gender diverse companies are 21% more likely to experience above average profitability. And the report shows that having women on the board of the company actually boosts productivity. So that's why I encourage everyone to have a diverse team and to get benefits from diversity and inclusion. And basically, that is all from my side that I would like to share for today. Thank you for attention. And now I give words to Ahmed.
Thank you, Dr. Liudmila. That was very nice and very interesting thing. And thank you for working your way around this connection. It was great. And yes, you deserve to have some water. That's great. So now, guys, the room is open for questions. I can see some questions already there. I will read them for you, and we'll expect Dr. Liudmila for answer. I just hear the news that they are suspecting some men for sabotaging the connection and trying to destroy your session. But you know how men work. One of the good things here about the UAE that the UAE, according to the United Nations Development Report, it is the first one on the Arab countries level and the 26th international level that has the equality between between men and women, which is really a good thing that we are living in such environment, which I believe that it's very helpful for all of us. Okay, I have a lot of questions. So let's start with a question that I believe an interesting one, which is, who inspired you and why? Who inspired you to become the leader that you are, and why?
Well, I cannot say that I have any particular. I'm getting my inspiration from different people, different leaders, actually, different world leaders worldwide, and actually both male and females. I admire actually like innovation, for example, innovation spirit from Elon Musk, from Richard Branson. I admire the character of Margaret Thatcher. I admire, for example, the bravery, I can say. I forgot actually her name. There is a French Minister of Defense. The woman, actually, I admire her as well for the bravery to take this position and lead actually men in army. And so that's why I different qualities and different characteristics from different people, but I don't have any particular model or role model which I'm trying to follow. Actually, I've been told several times from of the friends or colleagues that I'm actually inspiring them and to take some actions, to do the step up, to go out of the comfort zone, trying to reach something, to set the goals actually, and to develop the plan for their goals. And I'm actually very happy that I also can inspire someone to reach their goals, to inspire to become a leaders and to step up of their comfort zone.
Thank you very much for our second poll. One of the answers, and I would like to share this with you. One of our participants say the answer will be others, and the answer would be taking seriously. And this is the belief of the biggest issue of being taken seriously, that it takes longer to gain everyone trust and being able to lead, just because women are usually in supportive positions rather than leading. In some cases, of course.
Yes, I agree with the statement. Is that's why I also share my experience when I joined in ADNOC, and one of the managers actually thought that I'm just a student, and maybe just taking practice here, and he didn't feel that he didn't take me seriously what I'm saying. And what actually I had a funny situation. I was like given the statement, he was telling me like, what a nonsense you're saying, and he was basically repeating the same things what I'm saying. And I realized that because of this stereotypes like mindset which he had, because he was like much older than me, much more experienced, and also like coming from a different culture, he could not like understand that I also have some experience and background, and he not.
Yes.
Yes, but again, it takes time. You need to prove yourself. You need to speak up first. So if you will okay, which is your ideas, which not share your ideas with your team members, how anybody will know that you are able to do something, that you have knowledge, you have experience. You need to speak up, to share your ideas, and then to take initiative. And basically, if you take initiatives and trying to add value, you will prove yourself. And after sometimes people and
yes. There is, thank you very much. There is a question from the other perspective, and there is a stereotype about men which are expected behavior at workplace, which is men need less family time. So that's from the other perspective, that men need less family time, so they are expected to work more time and overtime.
I'd say first of all, a lot of great actually women who can balance their work and life, and personal life. And it's just, from my point of view, is a proper planning. First of all, now actually is a good experience of Ms. Taiba Al-Hashemi, which I shared.
Yes, we can hear you. It's breaking a little bit, but we can hear.
To have in use. Okay. Okay, good. So now, for example, companies can spend more time with their families. Some of the big companies, I know actually, good example, they're so that women can live there for basically go to work. So there are lots of steps done towards support more women at work. That's why I think very soon we can see actually the more and more steps, and we will see the gender parity, I believe. And, but at the same time, again, if women will not raise their voice, actually maybe nothing will change. It's a good book actually. I would like to share with maybe ladies who are participating in this webinar. The book wrote by Sheryl Sandberg called Lean In. Is very good examples how she was working in. She's actually the CEO of Facebook, and she was sharing lots of experiences how she was she was pregnant, she was working,
and which difficulties she shared at work and she had at work. But basically, because she was able to speak up and highlight these issues, the things were changed to make it more approachable for women, more easier for them to support their women work-life balance. That's why
It's interesting.
Yeah, I think women need to highlight these issues, and I believe everyone reached.
Again, we thank her very much. You can follow her. You can send her connection on the LinkedIn. This is her profile. And please, if you want to speak in the upcoming events, in upcoming webinars, if you have a subject that you would like to share with us, please feel free also to send it by email to Ms. Hayat Mansour at pmiue.org, and we will be in touch with you and we will discuss it. Again, follow the PMI-UE. You'll find a lot of updates. You'll find a lot of knowledge areas to share, and we will be sharing these videos and much more. Thank you very much, and appreciate your time, appreciate your patience. Sorry for the connection issue. However, I personally have enjoyed the discussion a lot. I have leaders, women leaders in my workplace. I have women in my team, and this presentation is really an eye-opening for many of us. Thank you again, and we are looking forward to see you in the coming webinars. We will be sending you a link very soon, and appreciate it. Good night, everyone. Stay safe, stay home, and have fun. Goodbye.